Okay, so let's just go ahead and address the elephant in the room. This foundation shade is way too light, so let's just agree to ignore it, okay? Thanks so much.
Hi guys, welcome back. So today I wanted to go ahead and start doing a couple of videos trying out the new Ace Beauty palettes that I picked up last month. I actually purchased the whole set. It's called the Paradise set, and there are 4 different palettes in this set. Very pretty eyeshadow palettes. Each one is gorgeous in its own right. I couldn't decide actually which one I wanted to start with, but as you can see, I started out with the pinky red one here, which is on top. And this one is actually called the Blossom Passion palette. So this is what this palette looks like. Very pretty. Has like some really pink and red tones in this palette. Each palette comes with a nice size mirror in it, and these are the shades for the palette that I am talking about today. So as you can see, it's basically like a red and pink tone palette. There are some matte shadows in here as well as some gorgeous shimmer shades, and there's even a really nice deep dark brown. It's not black, but it's a really deep dark shade that you can use to smoke out looks, which you guys know I'm always trying to smoke something out. So that is the palette that I actually am using and talking about today. I will be doing a look with all 4 palettes, so stay tuned for those. I'm thinking about the purple next. Now with Ace Beauty, I'm not really that familiar with them as a company. I've only purchased one eyeshadow palette from them before, and it is my quintessential palette, and this palette is really pretty. It's a nice palette. I've only used it once, quite frankly. I don't think about it, but it is a gorgeous palette. It has a really pretty design on the inside of this palette. As you can see, no mirror in this one, but there are some really pretty shades in this palette. The reason why I kind of have mixed feelings about this palette is because this palette was, I believe, like $38.99. Yeah, this palette was $38.99, and although there's some decent sized pans in here and some nice colors in here, after I paid for shipping and everything, this palette cost me almost $50. So this is one of those kind of items you purchase and you kind of regret it after the fact. So anyway, not here to talk about this palette today. Today it's all about this Blossom Passion palette. So let me go ahead and get these swatches for you guys. There are, let's see, 12 shadows in each of these palettes, so I'm just going to swatch the top row and the bottom row for you guys so you can check that out. So this is the whole palette swatched. It swatches a little bit patchy, some of the powdery shades, but as you can see, they are pretty pigmented, and the shimmer shades in here are very pretty. So just wanted to show you the whole palette swatched. That is what it looks like. Now, to be honest with you, I'm really not sure why I have an attitude about what I paid for this palette, because these palettes really aren't any better. These palettes are $34.99 each. So these aren't cheap either, and these, like I said, they only have what, 12 shades in here, but these shadows are very pigmented, and I actually had a lot of fun working in this palette. Now with these palettes being $34.99 each, that is quite pricey. I really went ahead and purchased these for my collection because I was curious about the formula and how they would perform. Now, if you really like these, you can purchase the whole set of these eyeshadow palettes for $114. I don't know if that's any discount. Yeah, that's a discount. I think when I bought them, I was able to purchase them for $109. They had a little bit of a sale going on when I bought them. So that's just a little information for you in case you're curious. Now, I just want to read what it says here on the box for this Blossom Passion palette. It says here, the Blossom Passion palette is part of our Paradise collection. It features 12 colors that can be used to create bold, sexy looks. each color has been carefully milled and pressed to provide the easiest, smoothest application and the most excellent color payoff. Now, when I was using this palette, it kind of reminded me of another palette that I already have in my collection. So let me go ahead and just show you this palette. It kind of reminded me of the Venus XL palette. Although this palette has way more colors and shades than the Ace Beauty palette, it did kind of remind me of it. So if you want to take a look at this palette, this is the Lime Crime XL palette, which is gorgeous. I actually wanted to use this and I said, no, you know what, I gotta use one of my new palettes, so that's why I didn't end up using this one. So yeah, this is the Lime Crime Venus XL and this is the Ace Beauty palette. So although they're not exactly the same, they are a bit similar to me, and I feel like I can create similar looks with these palettes. I have the Blossom Passion on top, and I have the Lime Crime Venus XL on the bottom. So enough about that. So just some thoughts that I have about using this palette. I like this palette. I do. I really wanted to go in today. I was in kind of like just a complete matte and smoky type mood. I wanted kind of like a deep look for my eyes. Nothing really too shiny and shimmery, so I really was able to create that with these matte shades in here. I did go in with all 4 of these shades, and I did use this shade here as my inner corner highlight, as you will see later on in the video if you do go ahead and check out my little tutorial on how I did this look. But honestly, I really don't have any complaints about this palette. There was a little bit of kick up in the pan, not a lot. I kind of expect that when palettes are extremely pigmented like these are, but I really was able to get that color on. They blended out very nicely together. I really liked using this palette. I don't have any complaints, you guys, and I can't wait to actually do like a pink, bright pink smoky eye as well. I was just feeling red today. So anywho, that's pretty much all I have to say about this palette. It's a nice palette, gorgeous, a bit expensive. I think they're actually sold out right now, so if you are interested in purchasing them, you might want to keep checking back on the website to see when they restock. If they restock, I don't think this is limited edition, but I'm not sure. So anywho, enough about this palette. Let's go ahead and jump into this look. If you'd like to see how I created this look, then stay tuned because it's coming up next.